Colorism Archives. Colorism Archives. The hashtag Doja Cat is over party has been trending on Twitter, where Doja Cat is being exposed for frequenting a chat room for an alt-right group, saying the N-word, and a series of other events that people are claiming as racist. On May 24th, 2020, around 11 o'clock p.m., she finally addressed it on Instagram by saying the following. I want to address what's been happening on Twitter. I've used public chat rooms to socialize since I was a child. I shouldn't have been on some of those chat room sites, but I personally have never been involved in any racist conversations. I'm sorry to everyone that I offended. I'm a black woman. Half of my family is black from South Africa, and I'm very proud of where I come from. As for the old song that's resurfaced, it was in no way tied to anything outside of my own personal experience. It was written in response to people who've often used that term to hurt me. I made an attempt to flip its meaning, but recognized that it was a bad decision to use the term in my music. I understand my influence and impact, and I'm taking this all very seriously. I love you all, and I'm sorry for upsetting or hurting any of you. That's not my character, and I'm determined to show that to everybody moving forward. Thank you. So is Doja Cat a black woman? I don't know. Have you ever heard a black woman be called a racist for hating their 4C hair, allegedly loving her lighter skin, and saying the N-word? I could say this though. There are usually repercussions for black women in society who say anything considered remotely problematic. And for them, cancel culture is real. Look at Just Hilarious, Azealia Banks, Chrisette Michele. Should I go on? So, hypothetically speaking, say Doja Cat were really a black woman in the entertainment industry, then yes, I could say she would definitely be canceled. Doja is the product of a Jewish mother and a South African father, who she has yet to meet. She was raised by her Jewish Caucasian mother in Oak Park, California, where she skateboarded, surfed, and breakdanced. So is Doja Cat really over? First, let's debunk the theory that Doja is a racist. A more appropriate term for what she's exhibiting would be self-hate. But what I don't appreciate, and what appears inauthentic to me, is that as soon as she was under fire for something negative, now she's identifying as a black woman. This is news to me. I've never heard her say she was black or proud until now. Psychologically, even in the black community, terms like white is right and even little white lie prove to us that society, not just black people, view whiteness as good and darkness as bad. And the further along you are on the white or black spectrum determines how good or bad you'll be perceived and treated by others. So now that things are bad, it doesn't matter, because black people, especially black women, are bashed in the media all the time, right? The behavior she's exhibiting is much deeper than that. Have you ever heard the term racial impostor syndrome? It's defined as when people with biracial and multi-ethnic identities feel like imposters of one or more of their identities because they don't fit neatly into any one category. Doja isn't white, but she isn't black either. She's biracial and has been very transparent about the fact that her mother is white and her father is black. And now that we got that out of the way, I want to talk about her use of the N-word. Now, when did black people start holding biracial people accountable for using the N-word? And yeah, she looks super desperate in the chat room. But you want to know who else looks desperate? Donald Glover. Publicly, his desperation for white and Asian women looks really bad. In fact, Donald Glover, aka Childish Gambino's Asian fetish, is so cringeworthy that several publications have written articles addressing it. I've included some links below in the description box. Now, what came as absolutely no surprise to me is Doja's frustrations with her 4C hair. We're so used to seeing her in slightly pulled back lace fronts that it was nice to see her with a natural style. I can imagine the difficulty she had growing up with her Jewish mother, who had no idea what to do with it. And even now, she's not out here slaying lace fronts. But I don't believe her sharing her distaste for the hair that grows out of her own head is considered racism. That's self-hatred. So to answer the question, no, Doja Cat is not a black woman, even though she claimed to be. She also claimed to be sorry, so now we know. In fact, she recently released a second apology, which in my opinion was so ineffective, I decided not to include it in this video. And we took a poll on Twitter, and 61% said they still do not accept Doja Cat's apology. But what do you think? Do you think she's black? Do you think she's sorry? We'll just have to find out. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and follow us on Twitter at Colorism Archive.